Ratchet and Clank, Jak Daxter, Sly Cooper. PlayStation heroes from the 2000s that I've never truly played before. Sort of, actually. I mean, in truth, I have played one of these three franchises before. I decided I will not play Undertale because it doesn't fit with my initial gaming plans. I mean, the game's not really memorable nowadays, anyway. The reason I want to play these three franchises in particular is because they are the iconic three of 2000s PlayStation games. The Crash and Spyro trilogies and Medieval were all popular PlayStation games in the 1990s, so I figured it'd be fun if I did the same for this. People love these games too, and I honestly want to get into the more cool themed PlayStation games. If I do this, don't expect 2010s games because most of those are T or M. Then again, Medieval's T. But I just decide what I play for this channel. Also, before we begin, I suggest subscribing so that my channel can grow with more content. So with that, let's get on with it. Okay. Let's get into the franchises that I'll be doing. The first obvious one to do is Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank is one of the PlayStation's most popular franchises. It's still currently getting games like God of War, The Last of Us, or Horizon, and that actually makes it one of the oldest. Its first game, which I plan on playing first, being released in 2002. That means the franchise is over 20 years old. The company behind it, Insomniac, is responsible for the creation of the original Spyro trilogy, and their most current franchise is the Spider-Man game franchise. Ratchet & Clank has over 17 games, but I intend to play only 8 of them. The category is here in this dialogue. Though the future games are said to have retcon features, I still want to play them so that it will make the run-through longer than the amount of Crash Bandicoot games I plan to play. Why I say that I've played a game from one of these before is because I've actually played 2 Ratchet & Clank games in my life that I'm going to disclude from the list. The first one I ever played was Ratchet & Clank Before the Nexus, which I have vague memories of playing on an OIS, I believe. Me and my dad were out somewhere. I've never played it since. Then there's the PlayStation 4 reboot, made for that long-forgotten 2016 movie. I loved playing this, and I would replay it constantly to try and 100% it, and get a platinum trophy, and I blame that for our old PlayStation 4 breaking, and us being forced to get a new one. But despite liking the PlayStation 4 reboot, I won't play it because it's not on the list, and because I don't want to play it again. Overall, I have never played any of the 8 Ratchet & Clank games on the list, which is why I'm excited to start this huge run. Then there's Jak Daxter, a game series created by Naughty Dog, the creator of Crash Bandicoot's old trilogy. I haven't played any of these games, but the idea is that I'm only playing the trilogy, not the combat racing game, because I don't like racing games, and not the Lost Frontier because no one likes that one. Though the Daxter spin-off looks interesting. I remember that one of my brothers tried to make a video about him playing Jak Daxter 1, but he never finished it. I considered just using the clips that he did record and finish the rest of the game for him, but that sounded evil, so I'm just doing it like this. I plan to play Ratchet & Clank and Jak Daxter around the same time, but really I'll just decide how that works. Recording will be more complicated. The former idea back was that after Crash Bandicoot 2, I would play Jak Daxter and Legend of K at the same time, which explains the dialogue in the Crash Bandicoot 2 playlist. The next 2 series, ought to set something up to a big review into the channel. But after a bit, I decided I was going to play Spyro 2, and then I just decided I would just finish the trilogies before I did anything else. Jak Daxter, the Precursor Legacy, is the first game which gives us a friendly introduction to a nice little adventure game with elves, and belly buttons, and magic, and humongous loud music. But then, the 2 other games take the more dark and cool style, including guns and swearing and a sexy goatee. Yeah, this channel's gonna get violent soon. Depends on how long it takes. And then, finally, we have Sly Cooper. The former idea was to play Legend of K after Ratchet & Clank, but I realized that the game was old news and half of the people who played it didn't like it, so I replaced it with the third PlayStation hero that you'd expect more. I still have future plans for K, just for a different collection, where I plan to play games I'll regret playing. Sly Cooper was a favorite to one of my brothers. He played the first game entirely, and then he played half of the second game and never finished it. I want to play the Sly Cooper trilogy created by Sucker Punch because that trilogy started off its popular career before they left it for Infamous, which my brother also played and found it not infamous. Yay! Sly Cooper is a world with humanoid animals. That's new. And it comes with a fun stealth concept. The first game is sort of bland, I've heard, while the two others are much more improved. But then again, wasn't that the same for Spyro? So yeah, we have the entire trilogy in mind. The trilogy was supposed to get a movie, but like the Popeye movie, it never happened. Sly Cooper's games, I have never played. I just watched my brothers play the first two, and that was all to my knowledge. He always winds up in Paris, and he doesn't wear pants. But that will still be fun. Like I said, I am not going to play Undertale because now I don't want to. In fact, if anything, I'll just let my brother play it. I also want to have commentary in this next phase because I believe that'll help me get more popular. I have also decided that my spring break from gameplays is no longer a focus, and that I will start playing Jak Daxter this weekend. I decided to get back to gameplays because I realized Bleen shorts took too long to make, and they were mostly not worth it in the end. So that's all of them. I don't have much to say, so thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed these gameplay series when they start coming up, and with that, I'll see ya.